Right now, millions of people think they're ordering food from just, a simple local restaurant app.
Yeah, that's the illusion.
Right. But what they don't realize is that they're actually interacting with this massive, totally invisible four-sided software ecosystem, and it's making like thousands of synchronized calculations a second.
It's wild when you actually think about it.
It really is. I mean, you tap a brightly colored button on your phone, and 20 minutes later, a hot meal or a bag of fresh groceries just appears at your front door.
Like magic.
Exactly. It feels effortless. It feels like magic. But today, we're revealing the highly complex machinery behind that magic. Welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Our mission today is to look way past those glossy, customer-facing screens to really understand the systems that actually make modern delivery businesses tick.
Because there's so much more going on under the hood.
So much more. We're diving into a really comprehensive look at the top multi-vendor delivery platforms for startups in 2026.
A really crucial topic right now.
Yeah, and whether you're an aspiring founder looking to build the next big delivery empire or just, a curious consumer wanting to know how that midnight pizza actually navigated the supply chain to reach you, we're going to break down what separates a failing app from a highly scalable money-making network.
Which is a very thin line, by the way.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
What exactly are we talking about when we say a multi-vendor platform? Because we aren't just talking about a restaurant throwing a digital menu on a website, are we?
Oh, not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest trap people fall into is assuming a massive delivery service is just a single piece of software.
Like just one app that does everything.
Right. If you look at a single vendor app, say a local burger joint that hired a developer to build their own proprietary ordering system that is essentially a straight two-way street.
You order the burger, they make the burger.
Exactly. You tell the kitchen what you want, they make it, they hand it to their driver. End of transaction. A multi-vendor platform is an entirely different beast. Well, it's not an app, really. It's a live ecosystem with 4 distinct interlocking interfaces, and all of them have to talk to each other simultaneously.
Okay, 4 interfaces. Let's walk through those. Where does the customer actually sit in this setup, and what are the other 3 pieces?
So the first piece is the customer app. That's, the only part you and I usually see.
Right, the front end.
Exactly. It handles the browsing, the cart logic, order tracking, and obviously highly secure payment processing. But the moment you hit buy, that data has to instantly route to the second piece.
Which is?
The vendor dashboard. This is usually the interface sitting on a tablet inside independent restaurants or pharmacies or grocery stores.
Ah, okay. The tablet that's always pinging by the cash register.
Yeah, that exact one. They use it to control their live inventory, manage menu updates, and accept or reject the incoming orders.
Okay, so that's 2. Customer and vendor. What's the third?
The third piece is the delivery driver app. And this requires entirely different engineering, heavily focused on real-time GPS polling, route optimization algorithms, and live earnings dashboards for the drivers.
Because they need to know exactly where to go and how much they're making.
Precisely. And then tying it all together is the fourth piece, the central admin panel.
The brain.
The absolute brain of the operation. This is where the platform owner monitors the entire city, manages the commission payouts, and approves new vendors.
If I'm visualizing how those 4 pieces interact, it's a bit like a live orchestra, but with a massive twist.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, like the customer is the audience, right? The vendors are the musicians, the delivery riders are the stagehands, and that central admin panel is the conductor making sure nobody plays out of tune.
That's a great way to put it.
But the twist is that if the trumpet player, the vendor suddenly drops their sheet music and can't play, the conductor has to instantly signal the stagehand to reroute.
Yes.
And inform the audience there's a delay, all without stopping the rest of the symphony.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, that is exactly where the real technological hurdle lies. It's all about something developers call state management.
State management.
Yeah. So when a customer cancels an order on their phone, the state of that order changes from active to canceled. That single data change must instantaneously trigger a cascading series of actions across the other 3 interfaces.
Oh, wow. So everyone needs to know at the exact same second.
Exactly. The vendor's tablet needs to flash a red warning to stop cooking. The driver's app needs to silently remove that stop from their queue and recalculate the fastest route for their remaining deliveries.
That's a lot of math happening at once.
And we haven't even mentioned the admin panel, which needs to immediately trigger a payment gateway reversal while adjusting the day's commission ledger. All of that data routing happens in milliseconds.
Which means the underlying software, the engine doing all this routing, has to be incredibly sophisticated.
It's massively complex.
And logically, it seems like the specific type of software you'd need would change drastically depending on the exact business you're trying to run.
Oh, it dictates everything.
Yeah.
The technological foundation you need is entirely dependent on your specific business model.
So what are the models?
Well, there are 4 distinct models that dominate the multi-vendor space right now. First is the hyperlocal marketplace.
Okay, like who?
Think of giants like Zomato or Instacart. They act as a digital bridge connecting nearby independent vendors to local customers.
Right, so their main job is just connecting the dots within a specific geographic radius.
Correct. The second model is the vertical specific marketplace. Instead of offering everything, a startup focuses on one highly specific niche.
Like just doing one thing really well.
Exactly. That could be a dedicated flower delivery network, specialized pharmacy delivery, or specialty organic groceries.
Okay, got it. And the third?
Third is the on-demand courier network. In this model, local businesses use the platform strictly for the logistics of delivery.
So the businesses aren't looking for new customers on the app.
No, they already have their own customers.
Right.
They just need to tap into a decentralized network of drivers to get the product moved.
So in that courier model, the platform doesn't really need a massive consumer marketing engine. They're basically just renting out the stagehands.
Precisely. It's a B2B logistics play. And the fourth model is the dark store, or cloud kitchen hybrid.
I feel like I'm hearing about dark stores everywhere lately.
Because it's growing aggressively. It blends the startup's own company-owned inventory sitting in a warehouse with no storefront alongside third-party vendor products, all operating inside one delivery ecosystem.
See, I have to push back a little on how different these actually are under the hood, though.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's say I'm an entrepreneur, right? I'm starting a hyper-niche, vertical-specific flower delivery service in my city. Do I really need totally different software than a massive dark store juggling thousands of grocery orders?
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, it's still just taking a payment and sending a driver, isn't it?
On the surface, yes, but mechanically they are worlds apart.
Really? How so?
Well, a dark store requires multi-warehouse inventory syncing. If someone buys a bag of coffee, the software has to instantly deduct that from a specific warehouse shelf in real time.
So a second customer doesn't buy the exact same bag.
Exactly. Your hyper-niche flower delivery service doesn't need warehouse logistics. What it needs is software capable of handling highly specific delivery window scheduling and fragile item tagging for the drivers.
Oh, I see. Because you can't just toss a bouquet of orchids into a backpack.
Right. Furthermore, a multi-vendor grocery app requires incredibly complex health code compliance features and automated multi-tier tax calculators depending on what food is hot, cold, or packaged.
Oh, because taxes are different on a hot rotisserie chicken versus a cold one.
Exactly. So if you try to run your flower shop on dark store software, you're going to be paying for massive server overhead and drowning in features you never use.
That makes total sense.
Choose the wrong foundation, and you cap your own growth before you even launch.
Okay, so clearly, knowing your specific business model dictates the tech. But I'm a founder, not a team of 50 engineers.
Yeah.
I'm not coding this ecosystem from scratch. I need off-the-shelf software to launch. How do I navigate the market when there are so many platforms out there?
You look at the strategic categories. The market is currently dominated by a big 6 group of platforms.
Big 6, okay.
And they break down based on a startup's funding, timeline, and technical expertise. The first category is built for founders who need to move yesterday. The fast launch, new code options.
Okay, so no code means I don't need a single software developer on my payroll to get this live.
Correct. And a primary tool for testing an idea quickly in this space is ShareTribe.
ShareTribe.
Yeah, it's actually a general marketplace builder, not strictly built for food delivery. It operates as a software as a service, or SaaS.
So what does that SaaS model actually look like for a founder in practice, like day-to-day?
It means you pay a monthly subscription,
Yeah.
and ShareTribe handles all the server maintenance, the security updates, and the hosting.
Taking a lot of the headache away.
Exactly. They offer a Go plan, which is purely no code. You upload your logos, configure your rules, and you're live.
That's incredibly fast.
It is.
Yeah.
But they also offer an API-based Flex tier, and this is a crucial distinction.
What's the difference?
Well, an API, an application programming interface, allows 2 different software programs to talk to each other. With the Flex tier, a founder can hire a small dev team to build a highly customized, unique customer app from scratch.
Ah, but they don't have to build the back end.
Right. They use ShareTribe's API to securely handle all the complex database routing in the background.
So ShareTribe is great for getting a minimum viable product off the ground. But what if I need software that is laser focused on the actual logistics of delivery right out of the gate, like something that really understands drivers and dispatching?
Then you look at a platform like Hypersod.
Hypersod, okay.
It's also a no-code, fully hosted SaaS platform, but it is engineered specifically for quick commerce.
What makes it different?
The standout feature here is an engine called AutoZod, which handles automated rider dispatch.
Okay, automated dispatch sounds great as a buzzword, but how does that actually work mechanically? How does the software know which driver to pick?
Well, it basically replaces human dispatchers with an algorithm. When an order is ready, the system doesn't just ping every driver in the city.
Because that would be chaos.
Right. The algorithm calculates the GPS location of available riders, their current travel velocity, their existing delivery load, and the estimated prep time of the food.
Wait, it calculates how fast they're currently moving.
Yes. It then assigns the order to the one specific driver who will arrive exactly as the food is being bagged.
That is incredible. I mean, the efficiency there is just, wow.
It really is. And rounding out this fast launch category is a platform called Yellow, made by JungleWorks.
Okay, Yellow. What stood out to me in the research about Yellow is its reliance on geofencing. But how does a geofence actually protect a delivery business?
Geofencing is a vital operational tool. It allows the platform admin to draw invisible digital polygons on a city map within the software.
So not just a circle.
Exactly. You aren't just setting a generic 5-mile radius. You can digitally trace neighborhood boundaries, avoiding natural barriers like rivers or heavily congested highways.
Oh, that's smart, because a place might be only 2 miles away physically, but it takes 40 minutes to drive there because of a bridge.
Exactly. If a customer opens the app outside of that digital fence, the software physically blocks them from ordering.
Just grayed out.
Yep. This prevents drivers from taking inefficient routes that would result in cold food and terrible customer reviews.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because ShareTribe, Hyperzod, and Yellow are all subscription models.
Right.
You're paying a monthly fee forever, but not every founder wants to be trapped in a perpetual subscription. What are the options if I want to actually own my tech stack?
That brings us to the second strategic category, the self-hosted, full ownership options. And this is a massive shift in how a business operates financially.
Okay, give me an example.
A prime example is Kart. It's a self-hosted platform, meaning you don't run it on their servers, you install it on your own cloud infrastructure, like AWS.
So you have to manage the hosting yourself.
Yes. But the most significant factor is that Kart operates on a lifetime license.
Meaning I pay one large upfront fee, and I own the software forever.
Exactly.
That completely changes the cash flow trajectory of a startup. I mean, instead of your monthly software costs scaling up as you get bigger, your tech costs are essentially fixed.
It's a huge advantage for scaling. And in that same self-hosted category is a platform called Grocer, built by FATbit Technologies.
Grocer. I'm guessing from the name it's for grocery.
Yes, while Kart is a broader solution, Grocer is explicitly tailored for grocery and hyperlocal.
We talked about grocery being super complex earlier. How does Grocer actually handle those specific complexities?
It handles the granular logic that generic platforms miss. For example, it has native multi-currency and multi-language support.
Which is huge for international expansion.
Critical if you're launching in a region like Europe or Southeast Asia. But more importantly, it handles cart-level tax rules.
Right, the hot and cold chicken thing.
Exactly. If a customer buys a fresh apple and a bottle of wine, those two items are taxed at completely different rates by the local government.
Yeah.
Grocer's database architecture automatically splits and calculates those varying tax rates at checkout, preventing the platform from facing massive audit penalties down the line.
Okay, so we have the fast launch sauce options and we have the self-hosted lifetime options. Is there a middle ground, like a way to get the flexibility of owning the code without the massive upfront burden?
There is, and it's the third category, a hybrid option. The standout platform here is Enatega.
Enatega, okay.
It's uniquely split. The front-end source code, the actual visual interface that the customer and the driver interact with, is fully open source.
Okay, so you can mess with it as much as you want.
Yes, but the back-end database and the API that powers it remain proprietary and operate on a paid license.
Why does having an open source front end matter to a business? Like, what does that actually allow them to do?
It allows for unlimited brand differentiation. If you use a strict SaaS platform, your app looks structurally identical to every other company using that platform, just with different color scheme.
Right, like those cookie cutter apps where you can tell they use the same template.
Exactly. With an
No.
open source front end, your developers can literally rewrite the user interface. You can create totally unique animations, radically different checkout flows, or even integrate custom augmented reality features.
Oh, wow.
You own the customer experience entirely, but you still rely on Enatega's proven, secure back-end servers to process the actual math and data routing.
That's a clever way to split it.
What's fascinating here is that these technical choices, SaaS versus lifetime license, open source versus closed source, are not just engineering decisions.
What do you mean?
They're the foundation of a startup's eventual exit strategy. When you approach a venture capital firm for Series A funding, one of their first questions will be about intellectual property.
Who actually owns the code?
Right. If you don't own your source code, you're inherently tied to your SaaS provider's ecosystem. If that SaaS provider suddenly triples their pricing, your profit margins vanish, and you have no control over it. Investors price that risk into your valuation.
That is wild to think about. You could build a wildly popular local brand, have thousands of daily orders, but if an investor looks under the hood and realizes you're entirely beholden to a rented platform, they might just walk away.
Happens more often than you'd think.
Which is actually a perfect segue into the darker side of this deep dive. Because with all these choices, picking the wrong tech stack isn't just an inconvenience, it can literally put you out of business.
Oh, absolutely fatal.
The source material refers to a startup graveyard, basically 4 massive mistakes founders make when deploying these tools.
Right. And the first and arguably most fatal pitfall is underestimating vendor management.
Okay.
Many founders obsess over making the customer app look gorgeous, but they completely ignore the administrative nightmare of paying the restaurants.
Let's ground this in a real scenario. Let's say a customer opens their app and orders a pizza from a local shop and a bottle of cough syrup from a corner pharmacy, all in the exact same shopping cart. They pay $50 total.
Okay.
But it turns out the pharmacy is out of cough syrup. What happens in the software?
Well, in a poorly chosen platform with a monolithic ledger, the system doesn't know how to handle a partial multi-vendor refund.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it might accidentally refund the entire $50, penalizing the pizza shop for the pharmacy's mistake.
That's a nightmare for the pizza shop.
Or even worse, the admin team has to manually go into a spreadsheet, calculate the partial refund, calculate the adjusted commission, and manually wire the money to the 2 separate vendors.
Which is fine if you have 5 orders a day.
Exactly. Now imagine doing that for 10,000 orders a day.
You'd need a whole floor of accountants.
A scalable platform utilizes a multi-tenant database that automatically quarantines funds, instantly calculates the partial refund, issues it to the customer, and dynamically recalculates the exact micro payouts owed to each vendor without a human ever touching it.
Okay, yeah, that is crucial. The second pitfall in the graveyard is choosing based on price alone.
Ooh, classic mistake.
Right. A bootstrapped founder sees a dirt cheap software option and thinks they've hacked the system. But what is the actual technical consequence of that cheap software when the business really starts to scale?
The technical consequence is database locking and server crashes under peak load.
Yeah, it just freezes up.
Yes.
Right.
Cheap software is often poorly optimized. When you hit a Friday night dinner rush and 3,000 people are simultaneously polling the server for driver GPS updates, querying the database for menu items, and processing credit cards, a cheap architecture creates a bottleneck.
It just can't handle the traffic.
Right. The database literally locks up trying to process the simultaneous requests.
You know, it's like buying a discount parachute. Sure, you feel brilliant about the cash you saved while you're sitting in an empty office on a Tuesday morning.
Exactly.
But the long-term consequence of that choice is that your entire system goes completely dark at 7:00 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday, right when you actually need the equipment to perform.
Precisely. And you lose your reputation in a single night.
Brutal. Okay, what's the third mistake?
The third mistake is ignoring delivery operations. As we established earlier, the customer app is only 1/4 of the ecosystem.
Right.
A stunning customer interface is completely useless if the platform lacks robust routing algorithms.
Because the food still has to actually get there.
Right. If your software can't effectively cluster multiple orders for a single driver heading in the same direction, your logistics costs will bleed you dry.
Yeah. Paying a driver to go back and forth across town for single orders is a quick way to go broke. And the final headstone in the graveyard, Overlooking compliance.
Yes. Failing to account for regional legal requirements.
Like the taxes we talked about.
We discussed complex tax routing, yeah, but data privacy is equally critical. Different jurisdictions have vastly different laws regarding how financial data and user location data are stored and encrypted.
Oh, right. GDPR and things like that.
Exactly. If your chosen platform doesn't natively support GDPR in Europe or specific state-level privacy mandates in the US, you aren't just facing operational hiccups.
You're getting sued.
You're exposed to massive company-ending legal liabilities.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
This raises an important question. I mean, any founder listening to this has to look at these pitfalls and honestly ask themselves, are you building a business just to launch a cool app tomorrow? Or are you building a structural foundation that won't require a catastrophic, incredibly costly data migration in 2 years when you try to expand your operations to a second city?
So what does this all mean? Ultimately, building a successful delivery empire isn't actually about knowing how to write code. It's about intimately understanding the specific mechanics of your business model.
100%.
Knowing exactly why a flower shop isn't a dark store and aligning that reality with the correct software architecture. Whether you leverage the rapid algorithmic dispatch of Hyperzod, the financial independence of a Kart lifetime license, or the open source front-end flexibility of Enatega, the software is just the engine.
Right.
You still have to know exactly what kind of vehicle you're driving.
And you must be prepared to manage all 4 sides of that ecosystem: customer, vendor, driver, and admin simultaneously, ensuring every single data point flows seamlessly between them.
Which leaves us with a final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on.
Let's hear it.
We talked about platforms utilizing advanced geographic scaling and automated dispatch like Hyperzod's AutoZod feature.
Yeah.
As these multi-vendor software architectures become cheaper, faster, and exponentially more powerful, they're allowing even the tiniest mom-and-pop shops to plug into highly sophisticated, enterprise-grade logistics networks.
Right.
So the question is, are we witnessing the complete extinction of the traditional in-house delivery driver? I mean, will the teenager working directly for the local pizza shop simply cease to exist? Will all local commerce, from pharmacies to hardware stores, soon be entirely handled by these massive, decentralized, algorithmically managed rider networks, pinging mindlessly from one vendor to another, all dictated by a silent, central admin panel in the cloud?
It represents a profound structural shift in local economies and labor markets. And it's entirely driven by the invisible software architectures we've been unpacking today.
The next time you're tired and it's late, and you tap that brightly colored button on your phone for a hot meal, remember the magic. But now you know exactly how many millions of digital gears are instantly turning, calculating, and syncing across 4 separate interfaces to get that food to your front door. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning the technology that runs your world, and we will see you next time.